Howdy and hello and welcome to the Pony for Woman podcast. This is episode 16 and we have yet again a new MLP episode to talk about this week. But first off, let's introduce all of us. First off, there is 4-String.
Guys, okay, I'm telling you what, I'm really happy for you, My Little Pony. I'm going to let you finish, but the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the best animated series of all time. One of the best animated series of all time. Shrug.
Oh.
But no, seriously, it's really good and you should watch it.
And also we have Artfan.
I read Homestuck, and you should too.
No, you shouldn't. And finally, for the second time, we have FusionFox.
Yay!
Guys, real talk? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. It's me.
Hi.
I'm here. Get used to it.
Get used to it.
Get used to it, which means he won't be here for the next 5 episodes.
And he's not drunk, unlike someone else in this podcast.
I've only had one beer. And,
Yeah, that's who it is.
No,
it's Artfan. It's not.
No,
So if this
you'll
winds
know
up
if I
being
ever
a
show up
train
on
wreck,
here
you know
drunk.
exactly who to blame.
You'll know if I show up on here drunk. Trust me.
Guys, all I gotta say is Southern Tier Christmas Ale. That's all I gotta say.
Is that all you've got to say?
That is, well, unless you wanted me to keep talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how awesome it is.
How
Yeah,
about
Not at
no?
all. That's quite all right.
It's
When
fantastic,
Artfan
guys.
gets drunk.
Every single person
When
in this
Artfan gets
podcast and listening to this podcast had better watch it and give me a 5-page paper due on my desk by tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, we'll go with Monday.
What were you saying, Matt? Fusion?
When Artfan gets drunk, he turns up on another podcast accidentally.
I will start Homestuck 411.
Don't
Yeah,
even-
why haven't
I'll
you?
sue
You said you were going to start Homestuck 411 like in our second episode.
Yeah, well,
or something.
there's a problem. When you start a podcast, generally you want at least one other person to join you in said podcast. And,
You don't have
yeah.
to. I do this podcast without you guys. It would suck.
With how much you ramble, you probably could.
Exactly. I could fill an hour of just me doing what I'm doing right now, actually.
3
3 days later, he's still recording an episode.
And guys, Princess Celestia is white. Just think about that. Just you think about that. And then I have like a silence for like 30 minutes so you can think about that. And then we come.
But no one thought about it.
And then you become the biggest celebrity in the fandom.
That's how it goes.
Because why not?
Well, yeah, that's
So
how
anyway.
I usually operate.
Not a whole lot of news to talk about, mainly because of, laziness and or busyness, depending on who you talk to. But we do
I say both.
Yeah, both probably.
I'm going
but
with both.
mostly laziness on my part, anyway.
Yeah, it was more drunkenness on my part.
Yeah, that too.
Sorry, guys.
You say drunk assness?
That is exactly what I said.
Oh,
Okay then.
well. Anyway, yeah, we have 2 new synopses. Sorry, for some upcoming episodes. And the first one is, for Wonderbolt's Academy, and it's Rainbow Dash can't believe her luck when she gets an exclusive invitation to enroll in Wonderbolt Academy. But as soon as she's wondering whether she's really cut out for the school and whether someone else would be a better fit.
Like Scootaloo.
And, yeah, exactly. Of course. The twist of the
Well,
season.
she is smaller, so she would fit in more places.
That's
fit in our
and
canon.
that is a good point to remember. It's just
And-
like Nacho Libre with all the holes in that house that woman lives in.
Oh, God.
There's probably at least 5 people listening to this that have actually watched Nacho Libre, and they're like, "Oh, I get it." Yes.
Anyway, and the other synopsis is for Apple Family Reunion, which is Granny Smith agrees to let Applejack lead the Apple Family Reunion, but Applejack loses sight of what is truly important. So
Christmas.
We finally have...
It better be a Christmas episode.
Oh, dear.
God, we need a Christmas episode for this show.
We did have one.
Wait, really? Did we?
Yeah, Hearthwarming Eve, remember?
Was that really? I mean,
Well, they had candy canes and gingerbread houses and snow and mistletoe and green and lights. And...
yeah, I guess I did. All right.
I believe that was the Hanukkah episode.
Go home, 4-string, you're drunk.
Well, I guess I didn't really think of it as the
Go drunk, 4-string, you're home.
I really didn't think of it as the Christmas episode, but I guess it is. I would like a more explicitly Christmas one, though.
Well, too bad for you. Heartswarming Eve has been established as the pony equivalent of Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to, assume that ponies are Christian, and then
Oh dear.
Well,
that opens a Pandora's box. We
how are they not?
Oh dear.
How are they not Christians?
Oh wait, I'm stopping watching the show. Now I realize that they are agnostic. It does not align with my beliefs.
Oh man.
They're Celestia ends.
What a good start to the podcast.
Yeah, I know, right?
Pony 411.
I'm so sorry, everyone. No, I'm not.
So, like I said earlier, new episode, Magic Duel. And
whoa.
As everyone knew, it was Return to Trixie.
Whoa.
Very much looking, very exciting because we haven't seen her since the beginning of season 1, except, although if you look carefully, there was a few bits where she kind of appeared in the background, but whatever. So, to summarize the episode, opens up with Pony just perusing a shop full of trinkets, but then she looks at one in particular, and we find out from the shopkeeper it's called the Alicorn Amulet. And at first she hems and haws, but then she dumps a whole bag of bits on the table, and he's fine with her taking it. So then it's all dark, and then and she's smiling in the mirror. And, oh God, what's going on? And then, of course, opening theme song. After this dark moment.
Because that's pretty bright. Why not?
Yeah. And then,
I think they did that in some of the Discord episodes or something like that. It was just him chuckling evilly to the camera, and there's My Little Pony.
Oh man.
Some juxtaposition right there.
So anyway,
carry on.
Then it goes to Ponyville, and Twilight's practicing for a magic show to perform for some delegates from Saddle Arabia. Yes, continuing the proud tradition of pony puns.
Fantastic.
And of course, she's using Fluttershy's animals. Fluttershy's freaked out about it, but all the animals are super excited. Anyway, she does the trick, and then Dash comes by and says there's something bad going on. And then, hey, look, it's that same cloaked pony from before, and now she's doing stuff like making Rarity wear a dress with the horrible colors, or a color that should only be highlight, and giving Dash one giant wing so she can't control her flight patterns, and fusing Snips and Snails together at the horn. And then when Twilight confronts her, it turns out, it's Trixie! And she came back because she wants revenge, because as far as she's concerned, it's all Twilight's fault she got run out of Ponyville, and now she's a laughingstock all over Equestria. Now, of course, it doesn't have nothing to do with the fact she lied and got shown up.
Never.
Or, No, it's someone else's fault, of course. And, so she left, she was mocked everywhere, and eventually she wound up working on a rock farm, which turned out to be the very same rock farm where Pinky grew up.
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity. Woo! Something I wasn't excited for. But anyway, then Trixie challenges Twilight to a magic duel and says that if she doesn't accept, that she'll just continue to do all this crap to all these ponies, and forcing Twilight to accept. And then, we find out the stakes are the loser has to leave Ponyville, which is pretty bad But anyway, Twilight eventually forced to accept, but quickly becomes clear Trixie's outmatching her in every way, which is confusing for anyone who knows about Twilight and Trixie at all. And eventually, Trixie declares herself the winner because Twilight is losing pretty badly at this point because of the age spell. She can't replicate it, but Trixie was able to make Snips and Snails both like a baby and an old pony. And then Trixie literally throws Twilight out of town, puts basically a fishbowl over the town, and proceeds to declare herself ruler or whatever. Megalomaniacal villain. So Twilight, she can't contact Celestia because Spike's in there, she's outside, and Celestia's off in Saddle Arabia, so can't just go to Canalot. So she decides to go off to the Everfree Forest and meet Zecora because that's the only other being she knows that knows a lot about magic out here. Explains the situation. Zecora tries to train her, include with a nice little homage to Empire Strikes Back. Right there, and unfortunately, Twilight has difficulty focusing because she just keeps thinking about what Trixie said to her and everything, and it just kind of stinks. And then, meanwhile, her friends are in town. They're having to do this stuff for Trixie, and then they're trying to find out how in the world Trixie got so powerful, because as they all realize pretty quickly, this doesn't make sense at all, because, her eyes are glowing red and everything at the beginning. So eventually they go to the library. Fluttershy finds the amulet in a book, or a drawing of the amulet, and everyone's ignoring her until Spike finally grabs it, and they finally just figure out what it is, and they decide to send Fluttershy after Twilight. And she gets out, and they contact Twilight. Then they decide, the only way we can only get the amulet off her if she takes it off herself, so they have to trick her into taking it off. And anyway, Twilight comes back to Ponyville. She's wearing her own amulet now, and she's telling Trixie that it's much better amulet than Trixie has, and she's trying to get her to accept a new duel, and she finally does, and they start dueling, and then it looks like, wow, Twilight's winning by a huge margin, and finally Trixie decides to take Twilight's amulet, takes off her amulet, swaps them out, and then Dash steals the old amulet. Then turns out Trixie's not powerful anymore at all. The Twilight's amulet was a fake. And then
don't get away.
Yeah. And then all the tricks that Twilight turned out all the tricks that Twilight was doing were, sleight of hoof. Sorry.
Get out.
No. And then finally, so Ponyville's restored to normal. Twilight does her show for the delegates. And then Trixie actually even helps out a little bit by making a fireworks show. And then Trixie asks for forgiveness, and Twilight accepts. And then Trixie leaves and tripping along the way. That's probably longer than it should have been, but whatever. Yeah. So that was
almost 4-string levels of rambling you did.
I know,
there.
right?
I know, man.
Someone
now they don't need to actually watch the episode now.
Yeah.
You just
They should have already watched the episode before they came here, or listened to this.
By the way, there were spoilers just then.
Oops.
As if it's not obvious by now.
Guys, we're going to review the episode. We might talk about it, but I'm not sure.
Just a little bit. So, what were you guys' overall impressions of the episode?
I like the ending. Came out of nowhere. I didn't quite expect it.
Yeah. The ending probably made me laugh more than anything in this show ever has. Ever.
The little homages to Star Wars were nice when Twilight was getting trained. I kind of knew they were going to go that route the second I saw the location Zecora lives in. I'm like, oh, this is going to be some sort of Empire training in the swamp type of thing, and sure enough, it was.
Yeah, they even had the line about unlearning everything that you have learned.
Yes, I thought that was nice.
How about you, Fusion?
I feel lucky that so far the only podcast episodes I've been on are for episode reviews where I've liked the episode, so I don't have to be too negative. I can feel like a good guy. But yeah, I think this is an example of one of the kind of episode similar to the Too Many Pinkie Pies, the kind of episode that I think the show does best. And yeah, the ending, I figured about halfway through that I was like, oh, they're gonna do something you go up to Trixie and you're like, I bet you can't beat me without the amulet because you're not really powerful, and then they trick her like that, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty predictable. And then they didn't do that, and I was like, oh, this is good. I'm surprised in a good way by this. And it was just a lot of I think. Yeah, they got to mess around with, obviously, all the magic stuff this time. So a lot of, funny visual gags going on with that, which I thought were pretty well done. So yeah, it was just a fun episode. I liked it. Liked it a lot.
There's a plot hole, though. Did the two henchman ponies that...
Simpson snails.
Did they ever get turned back to their normal ages?
I would assume so.
I hope not.
Because we didn't really see them again after they got de-aged for that final time.
Oh, well.
Yeah, what happened to them? You should write a fanfic, Art.
Yes. Let me just think here. How can I use Metallica in this one?
Only Metallica. Only the music of Metallica can bring them
The
back
Unforgiven.
to normal.
Oh Christ.
Write an alternate universe fanfic in which Trixie isn't actually forgiven.
Oh,
So
God.
she's the Unforgiven.
One of these days, I will.
Only Metallica will forgive her.
One of these days, I'm going to post a link in the. Damn it. One of these days, I'm going to post a link in the podcast description for anybody that wants to read the story these jokes come from.
That sounded like a tweet from that femfiction.net Twitter account.
Oh.
Whichever one it is, the femfiction.text.
Oh,
That
what?
sounded straight from
man.
that.
What did?
They don't forget, like, what was it?
Oh.
Only Metallica forgives Trixie or something. After Twilight doesn't forgive Trixie, but Metallica will, or something. God,
Fully derailed.
But there's three Unforgivens. Which one do I pick?
Unforgiven 4, make your own.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Unforgiven 4, The Return of Trixie.
Oh, man.
If I could do a James Hetfield impression, I would make a joke about the lyrics, but I can't, so I won't.
Well, I can do a James Hetfield impression.
Please don't.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Now I don't know what to say.
Of course you don't.
Anyway, getting back to the episode, and not Metallica.
Magic
I
Duel.
liked it myself. I had really, really, really high hopes for this one. Did not really fill all of them, but I still enjoyed it. And what surprised me was a lot of people, including kind of myself, really turned their opinions around on Trixie because of this episode. A lot of people before this episode hated Trixie. Now a lot of them actually say she's kind of likable now.
I just remembered, like, this episode, a lot of great Fluttershy moments, which is good,
Yes.
because
Yeah,
she
those
is, like,
too.
best pony, so...
There's a lot of those. But not, she's not best pony, though.
I don't know about that. I mean, Fusion's the second guy on this podcast to say that. You're getting outnumbered.
So?
Nemesis.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying 5 votes count for 3.
But my vote for Tori Spelling counts for like 1,000, so sorry.
This is my podcast.
Go home,
and I
guys.
say it's Tori Spelling.
Storytelling.
I have to vote for my wife.
Oh.
Oh, you poor
Yeah.
unfortunate soul.
She's in a new Christmas movie premiering on ABC Family this Christmas.
I don't want to. I know.
I saw her on TV the other day. I just look up. I'm like, hey, it's Tori Spelling. I mean, my wife. Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't tell you what she does.
Can we interview her on this show?
Please no.
She'll just be like, what? Anyway.
No. I liked a lot of the visual gags like Fusion brought up earlier, like the mouse in the trash bin when they were muting Pinky. Well, of course, that brings up the question: how does she breathe?
She doesn't.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that the whole episode. I'm like, she's gonna suffocate. That's. I did love her playing 10 instruments at once. I was like, rock on, Pinky, rock on.
Just like Swarm of the Century. Speaking of which, Parrot Sprites came back too.
Mm-hmm.
But where did Twilight send them? Where did she get it from?
That was something I found interesting, that she basically was able to materialize parasprites. Like, shoot. She can do that. What else can she just be like, hey, I want you to appear now, and then she does it, and then it's
Of
just...
course.
God.
That brings up a question of something I noticed is like the Briders can't seem to agree on where Twilight's power level is. It's like, because,
It's over 9,000.
No.
Podcast is over. Goodbye.
That's it. You wrecked everything. We can't recover from that.
Wreck it, Rocco.
I'm sorry, but you set it up way too well. I had to jump on
you didn't have to jump on that.
I'm gonna wreck it.
What,
with
9,000?
No, stop. I told you. I'm serious.
You did it again. Oh, God. Don't cross the streams.
So,
Anyway, so on this week's pages of Homestuck...
No.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Back to
Continue.
Twilight. They can't seem to agree on how powerful she is with magic. Because, like in Crystal Empire, she did an anti-gravity spell. She mimicked a dark magic spell she had seen once, and in this episode she had trouble lifting a cart and barrels. But like in last season, she repaired a dam all by herself. So it's like, it's like they can't seem to agree on where she is.
Seems like they just kind of do whatever's convenient for that episode. It's like, oh, let's have her not be able to lift this thing or whatever.
Well, that's what most children's shows do. They just do what's convenient for
absolutely.
the plot of that episode.
But at the same time, this show has shown that it does have some sort of it does dedicate itself at least slightly to continuity to the extent that I think you can expect a little more out of them in terms of like keeping that correct. More so than a normal children's show. So yeah, like it is a children's show, and like so as a result, that'll happen sometimes. Like things will be wrong, but I think like with My Little Pony, we can't give it that sort of pass too much more because it has shown that it can be dedicated.
Plus, that's part of the reason a lot of people like it is because it's not just another children's show.
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to give it the pass of, it's just a children's show kind of defeats that whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just found that odd that they can't seem to agree. It's like, I need to go check on who wrote which episodes, because like it'd be interesting to see if like she's consistently at a certain magic level with one writer and at a different level with another writer or something, because it's just I just found it odd that she was having trouble with that.
Well, I in my opinion, whatever M.A. Larson writes is true canon, and he wrote this episode, so.
Oh, I see.
I think he didn't he? I mean, everybody on Twitter was basically congratulating him, so I'm assuming it was him that did it.
I can't remember now. Oh well, I have to look it up. But another thing I noticed was this was a bit of an argument for a while in the fandom, but now we know that alicorn is the official term for like Celestia and Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Because before there was an argument going on whether it's alicorn or pegacorn, and a lot of people present things for both sides. But now we have confirmed official canon confirmation that it's alicorn. So there's that. That was nice to have. Although apparently that was born because they heard the term from the fandom, they decided to roll with it. But whatever.
Yeah.
I think personally my problem with the term pegacorn was just it kind of ignored the part where like Celestia and Luna both also have traits of earth ponies.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, yeah. I think a lot of people just forget that. It's like, oh yeah, earth ponies. Those things.
Pega earthcorn.
Oh god.
That sounds like a snack.
Oh, I do like how the amulet, corrupts her. I forgot to mention this earlier, but the amulet slowly corrupts whoever's wearing it. To the point, like at one point, Trixie says something about not trusting wheels, and it's like, oh my god, I just thought of something crazy.
Do something crazy. Do something crazy.
Just
do something crazy.
What if the reason Discord is so out there is because he was wearing that amulet?
Can I throw
wearing it where? You don't see him
he's
wearing
not
it.
wearing
way
it
back
anymore.
when.
Can I throw another theory
way back
at you?
when, he became who he is because he was wearing the amulet and it slowly corrupted him.
Can I throw another theory at you?
Okay,
ready?
throw it.
The amulet, when I looked at it, reminded me kinda of King Sombra.
Yeah, there's that too.
But the kind of change that Ponyville went through once Trixie took over, it also reminded me of the kind of thing that happened to the Crystal Empire.
Yeah, there's that too.
Could King Sombra have been corrupted himself?
Can I throw
Is
another
this
theory
how it's
at
going to
you?
link in?
Yeah.
Aliens.
King Sombra was the dark side.
Aliens.
Just aliens.
Gonna be that guy?
I'm not saying it was aliens,
But it was aliens.
No, those are interesting theories, though. Like,
Yeah.
legitimately, yeah.
We're going to
Someone
get
write
to the
a
final
fanfic.
episode. We're going to get to the final episode, and then it's like, Tori Spelling did it.
Tori Spelling voices the villain that confirms all of our theories, and then just
It is all of your theories, and none of your theories.
then looks toward the screen, and then Pony 411 flashes across the screen subliminally, and then
fades
she
in
winks.
from
and-
black. It just like fades to black, and then Pony 411 is on the screen for 21 minutes.
With blood dripping from the letters. I don't know where the blood comes from. But...
I'm kind of scared. Let's move on. Nightmare fuel.
What if the final villain was just Tori spelling, like giant Tori spelling, but like she still looked before. Like she does now? So like they didn't cartoonify her.
Oh man,
she was just like,
you're crazy.
The way she looks now, I'd hate to see her as a cartoon.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think she should come in and destroy Ponyville.
No.
And they're like, hey, stop. And then she's like, Pony 411. Wink. My little pony.
She's like Discord in the .mov series. She's just always stamping on buildings.
Yeah. Then Andrew Stockdale from Wolf Mother comes out and helps her.
Oh, what?
That seems like the next thing that happens. I don't know.
Just because. Why not? What was another thing I kind of noticed? I think this is my biggest disappointment with the episode. Was the second duel? This is just a personal thing. I just didn't like that they just decided, oh, it's a slate of it's all tricks. It's not actually magic. She's not actually, like Twilight's not actually doing this stuff. It's just a bunch of tricks. I'm like, oh, that's kind of disappointing to me, honestly. Because, they've been set up this character. It'd be nice if she actually did learn how to do that stuff when something that no pony's ever supposed to be able to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's just personal disappointment. I don't think anyone else even cares that much. That's just because
I get why you would care about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, I like that twist. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool twist, but it still kind of disappointed me. Especially with earlier, kind of teased it with she was trying to de-age the flower and almost succeeded.
Right.
Because, I was kind of hoping for that setup.
Yeah.
Alas.
Who knows? I guess Zecora can't teach everything.
Yeah. Darn it, Zecora.
That's why we can't have nice things, Zecora.
Yeah, Zecora. But I actually was surprised that, like you said, the apology thing at the end, that was kind of threw me. I was like, wow, they're actually doing that. I was not just thought, oh, she's defeated now, we'll never see her again. No, she apologized. Of course, she still kind of apologized in a haughty way.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less of her.
Yeah, which I was glad I didn't just go for full-on humble. I was like, okay, yeah, she's still being her.
Right.
But she's apologizing for it. And
exactly.
I was like, Twilight took a couple seconds to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. Anything else you guys want to add, really?
Well, you didn't even ask me about how I felt about the episode.
Yes, I did.
That's because no one cares.
I did,
okay.
And you said how you felt, you liar.
I said I like the ending.
Oh, well, you should have elaborated more.
Well, you started asking Fusion. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, now you missed your chance.
Okay, that's fine.
No, you didn't.
No,
elaborate more. Tell me. Blabber.
What are we talking about?
What you thought of the episode?
What episode?
Darn it, 4 string.
What's? No. I did have some thoughts. It was good. It wasn't great, but I'm hard to please fully. But it was good. And the ending was fantastic, and I will continue to maintain that. But I already mentioned about the Parasprite thing. Like, that's crazy that she can make one. Just like, wow, she basically can create life, or at least artificial life or something. So that's a thing. Interesting also that they continue showing like the hierarchy of the spells, like age spells being for the highest level unicorns. Which therefore means that Twilight is still not at the highest level, which means there's still ways to go, which is good. It's not like I kind of worried at the first episode that, is she already like basically as high as she can go, and now she's gonna like, where's the ceiling here? And this shows that the ceiling's further up, which is nice. And
ceiling has wings.
Yeah. Saddle Arabia, best pun. Actually, best pun is Lost Pegasus, but so that Saddle Arabia is pretty good. I thought was weird because in the Trixie's first episode, she kept using the term "you fools," and I thought that was hilarious when I first watched it. She said "you fools" like 2 times in this episode, didn't say "fools," and I'm like, come on, Trixie, you're missing opportunities to be punerific.
I think the fools thing kind of got dropped after the first season.
Yeah, which made me sad. but that makes sense. Yeah. And also I like how they finally kind of made Trixie. You know, we now know that Trixie does have a nice bone in her body. You know, she's not like
she's still kind of a jerk.
Yeah, absolutely, but like she's not totally evil. And, I mean, who knows what her intentions were originally here, to buying the amulet to begin with. But,
probably just to beat Twilight Sparkle, and that was about it.
What, is that what it was? Or did she buy the amulet and then that's when she decided that she was going to, like, the thing started, you know, possessing her to the point that she decided she was going to go back to Ponyville. I mean, or try to, you know, challenge Twilight again. I don't know.
I think it was her intention to always go. I think the idea is her intention to just get, you know, just beat her, and that was that. And then the amulet started making it more crazy. Like, oh, I beat you. Now you have to get out of town. Now I'm gonna make this town mine.
Yeah. Yeah. If the only thing for me is like if that was her intent all along, it seems weird that she was so humble at the end. Like. I don't know. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you know. It's like, if it was really my intent to, like, come in and just beat my rival, I'd be kind of pissed. I wouldn't be over there, you know, helping her show, for lack of a better term, you know, be better. I don't know. That was just something I thought of. But, 2 other things, really quick. First of all, Pinky has a banjo, so she's a pony after my own heart.
Nice.
Number 2, a lot of people I bet missed this, but my second favorite thing in the episode, the first obviously being the ending, second favorite episode is when Dash gets cloned, cloned, using quotation marks here. She's at first like really like super like what, and then for the last split second before they cut away from her, she like smiles at us, just like, yeah. I'm awesome.
I saw that.
I laughed that out. I'm like, yeah, that is totally what she would do. She would just look at her clone and be like, "What's up?" But okay, thanks for letting me ramble for a little bit.
No problem.
That would have been better earlier in the discussion, but it's whatever.
You know. Just kind of creepy. I was just thinking about it. It's like those spells, you know, like the age spell and whatnot. It was kind of implied what it said was for highest level unicorns, but then later on they said that no one can do it. So it makes me wonder. It's like, has anyone ever been able to pull it off besides the alicorns? Because, you know, Trixie was able to do it, but she's got the alicorn amulet, which I'm assuming means it gives her equivalent power of an alicorn.
I mean, they say a lot. They've talked up Star Swirl a bit, and Star Swirl, to our knowledge, was not a alicorn. Was it? No. Was it just a unicorn? Correct.
Yeah, might have been someone figured out the theory behind it, but could never actually do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Interesting indeed.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Unless anyone else has anything to add.
I think we're good. I'm good, at least.
You're always good.
Of course.
Wink.
Right. So, anyway, since that's it, we should just move on to some music, because 4-String has 2 pieces of music to talk about this week.
I don't have much to say, because I chose the songs while pretty drunk. It's worn off a bit now, so I'm kind of better. But I do have 2 songs for this week. Both of them just came out very, very, very recently. In fact, they'll still be fairly new. To the point that I probably actually missed some good ones this week, and I apologize if your song was really good and it's not in this podcast. Since everybody releases songs because they want to be on this podcast, I'm fully aware of that.
Of course.
So I apologize for any inconvenience. But the first song is a song that is in no way surprising that I've chosen, because it's basically the epitome of my favorite songs in this fandom, which is to say it's an instrumental, orchestral, and it's altogether wonderful. It's called Equestrian Space, and it's by Dagon Heartclaw. So you just heard like 30 seconds or so of it, and you should know why I love it. Just, do I even need to say more? Can I really even say more? What can I even say? I have no idea what I can even say, other than it's awesome. Also, that voice at the end is really interesting. If you listen to the entire thing, really interesting. I didn't expect that at all. But very good.
Opera.
Yeah, basically. Very good, very well put together. There's a lot of really cool little flourishes and through the whole piece. Like, it's not. Sometimes we'll have orchestral songs that are kind of the same thing throughout, whereas this one, it like has the kind of the same bass, but like has these other little things that happen every once in a while, even if it's fleeting. And so that's really cool, and that keeps you on your toes with it. And it keeps you coming back. It's not just something that you can, you know what to expect. You may not forget that, there was this really interesting little trill here, for instance, or something. So when you come back to it, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I forgot about that. And so of all the, I'm not raving about this as much as I have in the past about some other songs, but don't let that fool you. Of the instrumentals that I've put in this podcast, this is definitely one of my favorites. You should definitely check it out. It sounds wonderful, and it sounds like it could definitely be something that you'd place beneath, a TV show or cartoon or anything else like that. Very, very, very cool. Song number 2 is a song that I chose because of its striking similarity to another song that I'd heard before, and I was listening to it like, my God. And so that song is entitled Swing the Plot, and it's by Jeff Burgess.
Is the move that gets my attention, gets me into that equine convention. Swing of the plot is the move that keeps me falling in love. Swing of the plot is the move that grabs me and holds me. I'm hot as sugar and you've gotta mold me.
And the second I heard this song, I immediately thought of the song Feeling Good, and that's a classic tune that I believe was originated in Broadway mainly, and then has been covered by a whole score of people since. Most famously, recently, Michael Bublé did a cover of it, and Muse also did a cover, the British band, on one of their early 2000s CDs. Early 2000s, yeah. And, right? Yes, that's what it was. I started second-guessing myself. And actually, that's what I get the most out of this song. And Jeff, by the way, is a very good singer who I've been very close to featuring on the show in the past, but it's just never worked out for whatever reason. But puts together some really cool songs, and this song is definitely no different. And again, though, I'm a big Muse fan. I'm a big fan of the original song "Feeling Good," covered by again multiple people. And so the fact that I heard this song was just like so, like it just reminded me almost instantly of "Feeling Good." I enjoyed that quite a bit. In fact, I kept having to listen to be like, okay, this isn't just a parody, for lack of a better term, of it, is it? Like just taking the original lyrics and changing it into something pony. And it's not. It's something totally different. Although Jeff, I believe, stated on YouTube that Feeling Good was a inspiration, I guess. So in that sense, then it's not just a coincidence that it sounds so much like this. But yeah, that was a very welcome surprise this week when I was listening to songs like, oh hey, wow, that sounds a lot like, this. And I think we all enjoy that in general, when we hear stuff out there musically that reminds us of something else that we like, that always resonates. So that's why I chose the second song, and that's all I got for this week. But next week I'll probably be back with more songs than this week, when I'm not like a little drunk when I'm picking the songs. But yeah, so music is good.
Yeah, it was very
like
good.
It.
Yes, especially the second one was very different than the one I'm used to. I was like, that's different.
Exactly.
So, anyway, that wraps up our episode. What do you know?
Yes,
this is
yes, it does.
This is probably our single shortest episode ever. Believe it or not.
Well,
yes.
it's close.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
think
probably-
it is actually.
Either it is the shortest or one of the shortest. So, anyway, you can find all of us on Twitter. It's at FusionFox, at 4stringMLP, at Artfan88, and me at Nemesis Prime 1. And, of course, our podcast account, at Pony411. You probably listen to this.
Did you say at Art Nemesis Prime 1?
No, I said at Nemesis Prime 1.
Okay, I was confused. Sorry.
I would follow that guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
create an
think it's too
account
many
now.
characters for a Twitter account. Anyway.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
best.
too many for me to follow. Sorry.
Yeah.
Follow. I get it.
Go home. Anyway, you're probably listening to us on YouTube, which of course youtube.com/pony411. Or on Libsyn, pony411.libsyn.com, or directly from iTunes. If you find us somewhere else, tell us, because that surprises it's me. Probably surprised everyone else.
SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Find us
yeah,
somewhere
the one
else,
we have
then
the
you
first
would
episode
tell
on
us.
SoundCloud still.
I hope there's no one on there who's just like, guys,
Where are you?
you gave up a good thing, even though our first episode wasn't very good. You gave up
awful.
a good thing. And we're like, hey, check it out. We're on episode 16.
We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/pony411. Big surprise.
That's
And
right.
you want to contact us, you can get, message us on Facebook, Twitter, or email us at pony411podcast@gmail.com. So,
And now
That's it.
comes the segment of the show in which we say, hey, Fusion, congrats on getting married.
yeah, congrats.
Yes.
Wait, no.
Wait.
Wait. Wait.
Tutorial spelling.
Engaged to Tori Spelling. Now we both are engaged to
So,
her.
I think I should ask the most important question here. When and where is the bachelor party?
And is everyone that listens to this podcast invited?
Yeah.
The bachelor party is in a podcast. So
Oh.
It's in this podcast.
this
Oh
was
my.
it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Well, I
Sounds
was
like-
drunk, so I mean, I guess
It
I'm
counts.
good.
It counts. It works.
So, anyway. Yeah.
Also, for the interview this week, I'm going to start off by interviewing Nemesis.
No interview. There's no interview.
The monitor of Pony Central. Nemesis, my first question.
Stop
Number
it. What
one.
are you doing?
Number one, how dare you?
How dare you?
Number two, how dare you?
Oh, well.
Oh well. Didn't read. LOL. No, we'll have an interview next week. I hope. It's been
Yeah.
bad this last 2 weeks. We'll also
Alas.
most likely have a review of the comic.
It's very likely I should be getting my
Yeah.
copy in next week.
Yeah, most of you out there probably already read it in some way, shape, or
know,
form. But
Like on iTunes, because it's on iTunes.
yeah, which
Or
is so interesting.
Comixology, which is the better way because you can actually read it on your PC and not just on your iDevice.
Right. But yeah,
Or
so be looking out for that. In addition to, is there an episode next week?
Yes. because it's Sleepless in Ponyville.
Ah,
The Scootaloo
episode.
Finally.
That's happening.
The scooter episode.
Scooter.
The Scootasode.
Even better.
So anyway, I think we just kind of drag this on a little bit, but sayonara.
We're trying to fill an hour.
Au revoir. Other
we're
insert
not
word
filling an hour
out here. Get out.
No.
And don't forget.
That should be the ending every week. Get out.
For the love of God, you guys. You guys.
Get out of my room.
You don't have to leave, but you can't stay on this podcast.
You don't have to go home, but you can't
Please,
stay here.
please pony
I
responsibly.
know who I
want
want to
art
take
it.
me home.
Unlike
Please
these
pony
guys.
responsibly.
Pony responsibly.
Closing time.
Ignore art.
Time for you to go out to the
All right,
places
bye.
you will be from.
Good night.
Like Pony 411,
Yeah.
the podcast of ponies.
Why do I feel like this is going to be the secret message at the end?